Okay, this is my last speech, the commemorative address, and I'm doing Sidney Crosby. The Pittsburgh Penguins, for a long time, had a reputation of being one of the worst teams in the NHL. What with the loss of some of the best players they've had in several years, the Pens were hurting and they needed help. They showed slight signs of a comeback when they drafted the young goalie Marc-Andre Fleury in 2003. However, it was not enough. It wasn't until the 2005 NHL draft, when the Pens were so bad they received the first overall pick, that things began to look up. The Pens did not waste their pick of the litter when they selected the next one, Crosby. That is why we're here today, to commemorate Sidney Crosby, captain of the 2008-2009 Stanley Cup champion Pittsburgh Penguins. The 2005 NHL draft was one of legends. Due to the strike in the NHL the prior season, the draft was done via a weighted lottery based on the playoff appearances and performance, as well as draft lottery ratings for the 4 previous seasons. It was a risky situation, but the Pens, being as bad as they were at the time, still managed to get the first pick. Crosby was one of the highest regarded players to be in the draft pool that year. At 18, Crosby had already won back-to-back Canadian Hockey League Player of the Year awards and the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, even leading his team to win the 2005 Memorial Cup, a huge award in Canadian hockey equivalent to our Stanley Cup. He was such a highly anticipated pick that today there are many people who refer to the 2005 draft as the Sidney Crosby sweepstakes. So it was obvious that he would be a very prime choice to complement any of the many better teams in the NHL. However, the Pens scooped him up as fast as they could, making him the number 1 draft pick overall in 2005. Crosby debuted in the NHL against the New Jersey Devils and caught an assist on the team's first goal of the year. However, the Pens lost 7-1. In the Penguins' home opener 3 days later, Sidney scored his first goal in the NHL against the Boston Bruins, where he also helped with 2 assists. But yet again, the team lost in overtime 7-6. Crosby was one of the youngest players in the NHL and was skating alongside Mario Lemieux, one of, if not the greatest player in Penguins history. However, just 26 games into the season, Lemieux was forced to retire due to an irregular heartbeat. That is when Crosby got the next one nickname, as he was supposed to pick up the slack that Lemieux had left behind. Also around this point in time, head coach Ed Olszewski was let go and replaced by Michael Tyran. The very next day, Crosby was given the position of alternate captain for the Penguins, which is the assistant to the main team captain. The decision was scrutinized heavily because no one thought Crosby had the experience to lead the team yet, being that he was only 18. There were high hopes for the Pens to succeed, what with Crosby's explosive first season, which was only supported more by the Penguins acquiring Sergei Gonchar and Mark Recchi. Unfortunately, those hopes were dashed when the Pens had, once again, the worst record in the Eastern Conference. Though the team was still struggling, Sid had set numerous franchise records in most assists and most points, 63 and 102 respectively, in that year. He was also the youngest player in NHL history to score over 100 points in a single season. This is a feat that only 6 rookies had accomplished before Crosby. He was also 6th overall in scoring in the league that year, which, again, for a rookie is incredible. The next season, Crosby scored his first hat trick against the Philadelphia Flyers in an eventual 8-2 win. Crosby continued this hot streak against the Flyers when he achieved his first 6-point game with a goal and 5 assists. This high-scoring game and Crosby's valiant efforts launched and cemented him firmly into the NHL scoring lead, which he kept for the entire season, even though the Pens only made it into the first round of the playoffs. This was their first playoff appearance since 2001. Sidney scored 36 goals and 84 assists in the 79-game season, making him the first teenager since Wayne Gretzky to lead the league in scoring. He is awarded the Art Ross Trophy, making him the youngest player ever to do so, and became the youngest scoring champion in any North American professional sport. At the end of the season, Sidney was named the team captain. This made him also the youngest team captain in NHL history. Later in 2007, Sidney was awarded both the Hart Memorial Trophy as the most valuable player as voted by the Professional Hockey Writers Association, and the Lester B. Pearson Award as the most valuable player as voted by the NHL Players Association. This off-season hat-trick of sorts made him only the 7th player in NHL history to receive all 3 awards. The 2007-2008 season was a nail-biter, to say the least. Crosby scored a Gordie Howe hat trick, which means that he scored a goal, an assist, and got into a fight all in the same game. Later in the season, he had a high ankle sprain, which removed him from 21 games originally, and then an additional 7 games down the road after making a 2-game comeback. This absence, however, led to the rise of Evgeny Malkin, and when Crosby returned to the Penguins, they had a new dynamic duo. The season ended with the Pens in the Stanley Cup Finals. This was the first time since 1992. However, their efforts were valiant. The Pens came up short and lost the series in Game 6 against the Detroit Red Wings. The following season, Thierin was replaced by the new head coach Dan Bylsma. With the new coach leading the way, the Penguins powered through the Stanley Cup Finals and where they once again faced off with the Detroit Red Wings. This time there was no denying Crosby his cup. With that, Sidney the Next One Crosby became the youngest captain in NHL history to lead his team to the Stanley Cup. The young champion has a contract with the Penguins until 2012, at which time I'm sure he will be offered a permanent position with the Penguins. Needless to say, Crosby has changed the face of the Pittsburgh Penguins and will continue to lead his team to great new heights. Thank you.